Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
September has been a month of great diplomatic success for Bharat. New Delhi achieved a key milestone this month by organizing a magnificent G20 summit. While Bharat was scripting success after success at the summit, a leader from a Western nation was secretly meeting his allies in order to convince them to issue a joint statement criticizing India. It was none other than Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trudeau had claimed that India is responsible for the murder of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Nijjar was a Khalistani fanatic who was living under the patronage of Canadian government in Canada. His dead body was found with multiple gunshot wounds inside a vehicle in Canada in June 2023. Going back to G20 summit, Trudeau wanted the Five Eyes to pressurize India over this issue. Though his plans fell flat when his allies refrained from raising a fraudulent issue at the event, and when the ignorant Trudeau couldn't secure through diplomatic channels, he tried to seek it of his own. A few days after, when Trudeau was successfully able to reach his country after all the aeroplane fiasco, he shamelessly accused Indian government of murdering a Canadian citizen on the Canadian soil. In 1997, Hardeep Singh Nijjar travelled to Canada and was using a fake passport and false identity in the name of Ravi Sharma. He was arrested at Toronto airport in 1997. He immediately filed for asylum and claimed a victim of Indian police harassment. 11 days after his asylum was rejected and he married a British Columbia woman who sponsored him for immigration. When authorities found that it was a marriage for convenience, they rejected his immigration application, but still Nijjar was not deported. In 2001, he worked there as a plumber. Nijjar not only got respite and citizenship. In 2001, around that time, he joined Babbar Khalsa International using his close links with Jagtar Singh Tara, a former chief of KTF. Not just this, Justin Trudeau also reached out to other countries to once again muster up some diplomatic support against India. But his bid to launch an anti-India trade failed when UK, Australia and US showed him the mirror. Clearly, Justin Trudeau found himself isolated with no backing from his allies in sight. Let's understand what actually happened. Justin Trudeau was motivated by a sinister desire to implicate India for an action for which there is no concrete proof. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was no ordinary Canadian citizen. He was India's most wanted terrorist who also had an Interpol notice against him. He was responsible for multiple targeted killings in Punjab and was accused of reviving the dead Khalistani militants outfit in the form of Khalistan Tiger Force. According to Indian intelligence agencies, Nijjar was in touch with Pakistani agents and had even travelled to Pakistan in 2013-14. Despite being based in Canada, Nijjar was actively funding and recruiting young men from Punjab for the Khalistani cause in order to carry out terror attacks. Although he was engaged in such nefarious activities, the Trudeau government was far from taking any action against him. Despite repeated requests from the Indian government, Nijjar was a much free man who used to regularly participate in anti-India protests in the country. The stand of Canadian government on Khalistan issue has always been very problematic one. According to the Trudeau, Khalistani terrorists are not a threat to India's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and this issue is very much as it is a freedom of speech issue for him. Trudeau has often evoked this phrase whenever India has sought action against the growing Khalistani menace. One may believe that Justin Trudeau is actually a free speech absolutist who wants nothing but liberty for each of his countrymen. But in reality, he is nothing but an appeaser who is ready to shield even terrorists in order to save his political fortunes. Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party of Canada has failed to secure a majority of its own in the elections. Due to this, his government is surviving with the support from a new Democratic Party, an outfit that is headed by Jagmeet Singh. And we all know who Jagmeet Singh is. He is a staunch Khalistani separatist who has built a career by pandering to Khalistani elements. In 2017, he became the first Sikh leader to head a political party in Canada when he became the chief of the left-leaning NDP. Today, a large majority of Sikhs may not identify with the Khalistani cause, but politically it is kept alive in Canada because of its value in the vote bank politics. See, Justin Trudeau was acting in the hope that his pathetic attempt to please the domestic vote bank would revive support from Canada's international allies in the G7 and Five Eyes nations. But if there is an example of the biggest diplomatic blunder in the recent years, then it has to be what Justin Trudeau has attempted against India. Even a novice in international relations would know that his bid would fail massively. Justin Trudeau himself wanted to seal a trade deal with Bharat in order to save Canada's fledgling economy. However, his economy of Khalistanis has not only jeopardized Canada's relation with India for a long time to come, but his diplomatic blunder will now lead to an increased isolation of Canada even in the Western world. And it is very unfortunate for Canada that it will have to live with the repercussions of its leader action for a long time to come.